Hey everybody, this is a nice little hobby update. So I've been working on my buggies. I don't know if you remember these buggies from a video a long time ago, but I wanted to rebase them and repurpose them into some of the new buggies that are in the codex. So these of course were buggies, so they had weapons of twin big shooters, twin rocket launchers, and scorches, and not much else. But I said I wanted to use them in the new codex, so that's why they got put on the 150mm bases. And I have been custom building weapons for each individual model, starting with the most important one of the shock jump dragster and a custom shock rifle. So this is my custom shock rifle, obviously based on a las cannon, because that's essentially what it is. Not much to see here. That's it. That's what I came up with. So I got some wires around there. We got some tubes and stuff and whatever. So anyway, that's the custom shock rifles. They are of course magnetized onto here. It goes there. And then the shock jump dragster also has rocket launchers, so I have rocket launchers for this side. And there is the shock jump dragster version of this buggy. And then for the other one, when you use its pintle mount, just like the old weapons were at. So I built the second custom shock rifle in pretty much the exact same way, obviously, because that's we need to be. And so I just took off the rockets from this side, put on the rifle, and then put the rockets on the other one. So these rockets that are on these two models right now were the twin link rockets that used to be for this one. Very efficient use of parts. So yeah, so those are the shock jump dragster versions of these vehicles, which will see the battlefield this week. That's right. I've decided to go back to playing my orks because I came up with a great idea to replace one of the orkanauts in my freebooters list with 4 buggies, 2 shock jump dragsters and 2 Megatrak scrap jets, which are my UFOs. And I think that will give me plenty of firepower, the ability to destroy a unit, hopefully, to trigger the warlord, to trigger the clan trait if I need to. And yeah, so we're going to give that a try. So we're going to have the Gorkanaut, these 4 buggies, and the 3 airplanes all deployed on the board. Should give a nice, well, I would almost consider an oversaturation of targets, because every one of those is going to be a threat, especially the hitting on 3+ las cannons that with a freebooters trigger could be hitting on a 2+. And a 2-shot las cannon hitting on 2+ from orks, someone's going to stand up and take notice, I do believe. So anyway, so these are the shock jump dragsters. You know, I said in my video that death skulls are really good for shock jump dragsters. In this case, I'm going to use them freebooters, because that's what I've been playing lately. So, and then the next one is the mech special and big shooter from the Boomdaka Snazwagon. And this is what we came over with. So we basically got an assault cannon barrel on heavy bolter. I wanted it to be looted because it is a mech special, after all, and nothing screams mech more than looting. And I like looting Imperial weapons because A, it's easy, and B, I have a lot of extras. So anyway, yeah, there is the mech special and big shooter for this guy. Framing, protection value second to none. We have, this is the mech special for this guy. Again, keeping the weapons the same. And then we have a big shooter, which is one of the original big shooters that was made when the buggy was made. Yeah. So, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing for the rivet cannon yet, because there is no secondary weapon, so it'll make especially this one seem a little awkward, only having a gun on one side. It won't be no problem for the pintle mounted weapon though. But for this one, it'll be a little different. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. So these buggies are all coming on nicely. I'm very happy with the weapons. I really like the custom shock rifles. And I said you'll see all these boys on the battlefield this week, hopefully, if I can get around to making a video. But yeah, so these specials still need to be painted, obviously, whereas the weapons for the shock jump dragsters are already painted. They may be varnished. But since they're just weapons, it's not a big priority. Yeah, so yeah, mech specials or custom shock rifles and buggies. So yeah, those are my 2 buggies. And I said, which are as in this form of shock jump dragsters, but will take on the form of these. Boom, the stack of Snaz wagons, and the other one. If I can ever get around to building those weapons. But yeah, these combined with the scrap jets should provide a lot of firepower. So I did have to drop the Gorkanaut, which I don't have one, and I didn't have a second one. Didn't really want to buy a second one. So that's the real motivation behind me putting these buggies in there. Is A, not only do I want to play with them, but B, I don't want to have to buy a second Gorkanaut for that list. And I did have to drop a couple mech guns and the second Weird Boy to have the extra points for the 4th one. 3 of them fit in no problem. But for the 4th one, I had to make some sacrifices. So I dropped 2 mech guns. But replacing 2 mech guns with one of these buggies isn't a horrible exchange. Yeah, so that's where we're at. I did kind of start on the bikes, the first 3 of the war bikes, while the washes and glues were drying on these weapons I was working on. But they're very rudimentary base coats so far. I haven't gotten very far. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So again, this week you will see a battle report featuring the freebooters again, replacing the proxy Stormshare's Gorkanaut with 4 of these buggies, or 2 buggies, 2 shock jump dragsters, and 2 Megatrack scrap jets. Any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks.